Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2022 general readings. We're looking at the first half of June from the 1st through the 15th, and this reading is for the earth sign of Virgo. Welcome everyone. As always, thanks for taking the time to be here to watch these videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, reaching out for personal readings, your comments, all of it greatly appreciated. All right, Virgo, this reading is for you for the first half of June 2022. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Virgo. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Virgo. But if you know all of your signs, sun, moon, rising, and Venus, watch them all for any additional insight and perspective. And if you find that something does resonate with you, enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly. You can get my contact details from the description link. My email address is maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I can usually respond the same day. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I'm pretty timely about scheduling, so message me if you're interested. Okay, Virgo, let's see what the first half of June looks like for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Virgo, we begin with the King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or somebody who's manifesting like the King of Cups, the King of Water. Emotionally stable, balanced, intuitive. Typically, that's the textbook King of Cups, because it's governed by the element of water, which governs our emotional landscape. So this is somebody who is emotionally pretty aware and intelligent. This is somebody who's showing up as being relevant to you in the first half of June. And for those of you for whom this might not be an actual individual person, you could look at this as the energetic definition of the King of Cups for you, which is being emotionally mature, emotionally intuitive, maybe not all that talkative about their emotions, but somebody who's quite intuitive and astute about your own emotions and the emotions of the people around you. With the Magician, the manifester, the entrepreneur of the tarot. Somebody who's worked hard to get to a place where they now have control over each of the four elements and what they represent. Earth, air, fire, water. So creativity, inspiration, passion, emotions, intellect, practical things. When it usually shows up, when the Magician shows up with another court card, sometimes it can mean that this person is well able to manifest whatever they want by using their skills, knowledge, experience, wisdom, and the hard work to make something manifest. But sometimes it can represent somebody who's trying to cast an illusion, because the Magician is an illusionist as well. We'll see what comes out with it. Next we have the World, the last major arcana card in the tarot. It speaks of a final completion of a particular aspect or part of your life, graduation, moving on to a whole new landscape with different offers and opportunities. So after the World, a whole brand new journey begins. So moving on, moving up, leaving something behind with the Seven of Swords, which I often refer to as my sneaky thief card. But it just represents concealment. It can represent something negative like actual theft or exploitation or trickery. Again, it depends on the cards coming out in the rest of the spread. It's a self-serving card, but we all operate off the grid sometimes. It represents somebody who's has something that they want to do, gain, acquire, maintain. There's a motive, and in their planning and actions, they keep them secret, or as secret as possible, kind of holding their cards pretty close to their chest, right? Because that's what they feel they need to do in order to achieve whatever their objective is. So this is bringing something to an end, or moving on, moving up, but perhaps not telling people, not sharing, or maybe with very many people what your plans are. Maybe secretly planning to move on, to bring something to a close, something pretty significant, or something that has been pretty significant. It's very similar to your sister sign Capricorn. I often find that though with different elemental signs in the tarot when I do the general readings. For example, earth signs will have a similar theme to them one month, or fire signs will have a similar theme. It doesn't always hold true, but it often does. Next, we have the Five of Swords, a hard-won victory, winning at all costs, being super ambitious about something, no matter what the cost is. With the Ace of Coins, new beginnings, practical new beginnings. It might be moving, relocating, a new job, a new project, a sum of money that's received in order to have a new start. It feels very much, Virgo, like you've decided, excuse me, like you've decided that something needs to end. And there's been a bit of a theme for the earth signs over the last month or two about recovering from something difficult or even profound or catastrophic that's happened, and going through a recovery phase, a change phase of learning and growing. And sometimes during that recovery phase, whether it's like recovery from addiction or recovery from anything else, some kind of toxic imbalance or obsessive bad habit pattern traits, in the course of that, you may also find that in order to become better or to become healthier or heal fully, you also need to let go of other things during that process as well. And that may be what's happening here. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus is the Ace of Wands, a brand new beginning, one that gives you a sense of excitement and enthusiasm and passion and desire again. So 2 aces here, and major endings and beginnings. But it feels like it's still in process. Let's clarify the overall energy of the Ace of Wands. It's like you're going to have that new beginning no matter what it costs. It may be for some of you healing, moving through a difficult, again, recovery and learning and growth process from deciding you're going to leave something behind. But for others of you, it might be that plus going through that healing process, you find that there's certain things you have to cut out of your life so that you don't get triggered or get into a place where you feel overwhelmed again. Kind of a whole life do-over here. Clarify Ace of Wands. The Devil, toxic, negative cycles, addiction, obsession, negative relationships. I mean, this is a general reading, so what the specific thing is going to vary, but the fundamental energy is the same. The Devil typically represents an over-focus and over-obsession with something. Classic addictions, like any kind of alcohol, substance abuse, toxic relationships, workaholics. I mean, any kind of pattern of behavior that becomes so obsessive that it becomes a detriment and very unhealthy to the person at the center and also the people around them. The Three of Cups. This is a party, social energy, drinking, community, but both of these together is kind of a textbook classic combination for, alcoholism, drug addiction, or kind of a party lifestyle that has become unhealthy. Yeah, we have the Tower here, an unexpected, impactful, profound, or even catastrophic event that has happened that a new beginning is born from. Let's clarify that King of Cups. Who or what is that King of Cups? The Lovers, the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is the happy home, marriage, blessings, home and family card. And the Lovers is a relationship crossroads. Typically, it means that there's a decision to be made either about the relationship itself or in another area of life that's going to significantly impact that primary relationship or marriage. So there's a relationship central here. It looks like for many of you it's a long-term, well-established relationship or marriage. And again, that fundamental energy of moving on, moving forward, bringing something to an end and moving forward. For some of you, it might be the marriage itself or the relationship itself. For others of you, it might be how this path of recovery and working towards a new beginning affects the relationship, even though you don't plan to split up or anything like that. Let's clarify the marriage. And again, for those of you for whom this is a representative of an actual recovery process, it's not uncommon through healing and learning about yourself and what kind of triggers, this unhealthy cycle again. You may, one of the things we have to do is look at the people and the relationships in our life and ask ourselves, are they healthy? If not, can they be worked on to be healthy? Or if not, how and when do I let these go? Clarify the Magician. And for others of you, again, it's like, how do we continue to heal and move forward without breaking up? The Ace of Wands, again, that brand new beginning, and Death, final endings, very profound endings along with the World. I think some of you, this may be, again, in part of the recovery, it may be about ending a primary relationship or marriage that in some way has either been unhealthy, especially if you have a habit of toxic, negative relationships, or and how to do that, maybe how to do that in the best way possible. How to end something so that that has been a pretty significant part of your life in order to move forward and have a new beginning. Clarify the World. Judgment, major decisions, major life crossroads decisions. The Magician again, the manifester. The Nine of Pentacles, independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment. Working hard to get to a place where you're now free to enjoy the fruits of your labors. It's a pretty independent card, although it doesn't mean single necessarily, but it does mean happy, independent. For some of you, this is going to be almost textbook about ending a relationship or a marriage because you want to be in a place where you feel more independent and more self-sufficient, more self-empowered. Clarify the Seven of Swords, but the Seven of Swords underneath this also implies that you're thinking, deciding, planning, laying the groundwork for something, but not really saying much about it, if anything. And like I said in Capricorn's reading, fair enough, it's your story. You don't owe anyone your life story, whether you're involved with them or not. That's your history. If you feel like sharing that with people, do. The cautionary advice here is, especially if you're going through a healing and recovery process, to at least have one person or some kind of support system where you can share and get support. Clarify Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Swords. You're really playing your cards close to your chest, not revealing too much. Six of Swords, healing. Slowly but surely moving away from the chaos, the choppy, turbulent, muddy waters into a place that's more calm, peaceful, serene. You're not quite there yet. I mean, the worst is behind you. You're not quite on solid ground yet, but you're moving in the right direction. Maybe some of you feel that it's important that you isolate yourself or separate yourself or change your situations where perhaps you feel, so that you don't feel you have so much pressure on you in terms of what you're responsible for. And for some of you, this may not have anything to do with the breakup of a primary relationship or anything, but there's definitely a recovery theme here. And it's about, okay, what major changes can I make in my life so that I don't feel so overburdened and overwhelmed, which triggers negative behavior patterns. Clarify Five of Swords. But what I do like about this reading as well, Virgo, is this absolute determination to move into a new beginning no matter what. Five of Swords. Three of Wands, laying the groundwork for a more positive, hopeful, optimistic future. You're determined to do that. The Chariot, success on a difficult, challenging path. You might get run over 8, 9, 10 times, but it's getting up and persevering, which is like that Five of Swords that wins you the day. Ace of Swords, success, truth, illumination. Even though some truths might be difficult to face, some honesty might be difficult, seeing what's true and seeing what's real helps you make better choices to create a healthier reality for yourself, even though it's difficult. I mean, this is a pretty classic, fundamental theme of recovery and healing from something. And going through the process of healing, learning, growing, changing. How can I not repeat that again? What causes that negative cycle? What happens that triggers something in me that I dive back into this negative pattern again? Now, because it's a general reading, what that negative pattern is, there's a variety of options it could be, right? But it's about learning through that. And in the process of learning, some of you may have to let go of people, places, situations that are part of that trigger, right? Or learning how to deal with issues in a different way. And it looks like you're truly determined to do that. Excellent energy. Got 3 aces. Major cards of endings and significant cards of new beginnings. Transition time. Not easy, but worth it, right? All right. Guidance, advice, feedback for Virgo. The Nine of Wands, this is a card of perseverance. The Wounded Warrior card, feeling tired, discouraged, wanting to give up. But as 10s represent completion, you're almost there. You're almost there. Persevere. Wheel of Fortune, trust that as long as you do what you truly believe is the right, best things for you to do, trust in God, Spirit, angels, guides, divine timing, and orchestration. The Moon, even if you can't see more than a step or two in front of you, even if the way isn't entirely clear. The World. Moving on, moving up, graduation. So whatever this new beginning is for you, Virgo, it's something that Spirit definitely supports. You're not quite there yet, but you're almost there. And even though you may be feeling tired, discouraged, don't give up. Because it's time for you to move on from this negative cycle. Okay, Virgo, those are your messages for the first half of June. I hope you found them helpful, useful. It feels intense, like a lot of you are going through a difficult, challenging, intense, but essential and very much needed transitional change time. So in that respect, I hope the reading has been helpful in validating that, or at least in giving you some food for thought if you're still in the decision-making phase of this. Again, if any of this resonates with you enough that you would like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, personal readings do make great gifts. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to hear from you and to work with you. You can also get that contact info by clicking on the description link. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June mid-month readings. Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.